Hello, my name is Travis Newbill. I live and work here at Shambhala Mountain Center, where we're really excited to be hosting a retreat that we've hosted before called Radical Self-Healing with Charley Cropley. Charley is a naturopathic, or is it naturopath?
Either, really.
What's that?
Either is fine.
Okay, good.
In some circles, naturopaths.
Well, this man that I'm introducing here, who is chiming in helpfully, is a physician in any case, who after 35 years of practice uses no medicines. He teaches his clients that they are endowed with self-healing capacities exactly equal to their condition. They learn that illness itself is what heals them. It awakens their love of themselves and guides them in the heroic work of healing their own self-harming ways. So I'm so glad to have Charley Cropley with us today to have some discussion about some of this stuff. Thanks so much for joining us, Charley.
Thank you.
So the first question, maybe just to give some background, at what point in your career and your journey was there a transition towards naturopathic ways, and when did the the idea of self-healing emerge and become your focus?
So I'm a naturopathic physician. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a naturopathic physician. So that's been my path all along. And within naturopathic medicine, we are specialists in natural medicines. And so physicians using herbs, homeopathics, acupuncture, spinal manipulation, water treatments, nutrition, so on. And so I began as a general practice physician with a pharmacy and practicing in all these ways. And over time, I came to see that what worked and what consistently worked and what was downright miraculous was people changing their actions and changing the ways that they live. And this is foundational in naturopathic medicine and has always been exciting to me. When I read my first book in naturopathic medicine and saw that the causes of disease were the actions in our lives, not we didn't get cancer because there's something out there in the world called cancer that lands on us like a streptococcus does, that largely our illnesses are produced by ourselves. So in my work, I more and more emphasize teaching real strongly with nutrition, how to teach people how to eat, how to fast, teach them how to exercise, particularly the use of their minds, the quality of their relationships, and that the whole of all these people were able to produce amazing results and wanted to. And so that's evolved as my work. It was no set point where I stopped using medicines. It's been a gradual evolution, and for about the last 15 years, I'd say I've not used medicines.
That's quite different. A lot of their approaches to. Sorry, my kind of weird on your end.
You're breaking up.
That there's something that comes from us. In this way, illness is very meaningful and personal. And that brings, as you said, it's challenging and also rewarding. Consider that.
Yeah. So, as an example, today obesity runs above 1 in 3 people in our society, and being overweight is 2 out of 3 people in our society. With that, rates of heart disease, high cholesterol levels, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, 3 types of cancer, Alzheimer's disease, all of these things come out of an injured carbohydrate metabolism and not being able to process the amounts of sugar and refined carbohydrates that people eat. So, knowing this, then the causes of their illness, we'll say in this case, there's a significant amount of the cause that lays in the way they eat. When people try to change the way they eat, the issue that everybody comes up against is, how do we heal our self-harming behaviors? How do we be able to govern ourselves so that we don't indulge in what's harmful to us, and that we do indulge in what is truly nourishing for us, because that's what the illness is. And so in this work, invariably with people, they're looking for this power. How do I get the power to govern my actions wisely and stop the self-injurious behaviors? And that becomes an internal work. One of what we're really studying is a real human being and a real individual with fears and desires that govern their lives, and how do you change these and change one's behavior? That becomes a beautiful work that's a very intimate work that is, naturopathic medicine is like this with Buddhism, in that the causes of illness, the root causes of illness in naturopathic medicine, we describe as ignorance and indifference. So, you know, ignorance is the root cause in Buddhism. Indifference you could just put as a lack of kindness towards ourselves or a lack of real compassion. So when one comes down to that they can't restrain their sweet tooth, for example, can they, rather than judging themselves and simply trying harder and eventually giving up, can they compassionately listen to themselves and come to understand this side of themselves that is immature, that doesn't care about the rest of the body and just wants sugar? And how do you grow that part of yourself up and heal her? And so, you know, that is the internal work that goes with this. And so what you find is people are injured, of course, not only by the ways they eat. They're injured by the ways that they move or do not move. For example, their ways of breathing, their posture, their really every movement that they perform. They are injured by the ways that they think, by being unduly anxious, by being self-critical. They're injured by the quality of their relationships and the stress that they experience in their relationships. So these four things are all skills that every human being performs, and essentially illness is saying to you that the illness is the result of this, and the healing of it is learning to live, learning the art of living, and living so that what you're doing is truly kind and truly intelligent. Would you raise your child to eat the way that you eat? You know, would you? This is it. And so in the retreat here, we're spending 2.5 days immersed in these 4 disciplines and teaching people how to heal whatever manner of illness they have by learning how to live in a way that is truly caring. Truly caring. You know, not just saying nice things and visualizing nice things for people, that's fine, but actually, are you being caring to your own self and your own body in this exact moment, with your breath, with your posture, with your eating, if that's what you're doing, with your thoughts? And the more we do that, it becomes like we just feel good, you know, because we are being good directly to ourselves, and out of learning how to nourish and care for ourselves, we naturally do that for other people.
You mentioned the and as I was doing some some on your approach. If I remember right, it's how to think, how to move, and how to relate, which really lays out a whole path for people in growing as human beings. And I wonder, is this you mentioned Buddhism, is this related to any other particular spiritual path or paths?
No, it's not. It's you can find it in many different ones. For example, well, you find it in many. What this is Charley Cropley's path. This is all the influences that I've had over the years. I have learned these skills through many different teachers, and what I have discovered is this is the only way that health is really produced, and it's the ancient way that health was produced. So if you look, for example, at the Chinese, their system of healing includes acupuncture, it includes herbs, yes, but it also includes a whole way of eating, a whole system of movement, qigong, tai chi. It includes a whole system of meditative practices and self-reflection and study of how the world works in that way. And it's the same way if you go to India and go to yoga. Again, you find a complete system here of eating, of movement, which is yoga, of meditative, self-reflective practices, and in all of these of sanghas or gatherings or schools in which this is taught. That's the way it's always been, and it's so simple. Is that our life matters, that our illness is our individual illness, here to instruct us and to heal us. That's the purpose of illness, is to bring us a better life by showing us how we are injuring ourselves by the, we'll say, innocent but unskillful performance of the essential activities of life. Every human being needs to eat, move, think, and relate. That's what we do. Nobody can do that for us, and it's gone largely unrecognized in our culture, but is known in other cultures where these are the actual arts of living. And out of these we produce health and happiness. And it gives great meaning to a person's life, and they then embark on what I call a hero's journey to heal themselves and to face the habits that they have and learn steadily how to stop injuring themselves. Yeah. So
for those of us who have some experience with the Ayurvedic philosophy or Qigong, Chinese medicine, these disciplines, maybe we already have those spoken or resonate with us.
Is this what?
Will there be conflict? Is there going along with
wouldn't be a conflict at all.
Path, or is there an alignment?
It's not a conflict at all. It is in everything that I teach, like it is one of the themes that I teach is that we're constantly being spoken to. So, for example, illness is a way that the body speaks to us. So, if, for example, a hangover is the way the body speaks to us. Now, working against that, people have tried for centuries and millennia to cure hangovers, but you can't cure hangovers because the hangover is the cure. What's it the cure for? Poisoning ourselves with alcohol. And if the hangover doesn't do it, eventually liver cirrhosis and other things will do it, meaning that the harm just continues to grow. So what I'm saying here is that what I teach people is not a certain system of this is how you should eat, but that just a hangover will teach you the amount of alcohol that you can drink without injuring yourself. And so as you learn to listen to your body and understand the principles, which takes some teaching, people learn how to feed their body correctly. The same thing with movement. By paying attention to your body, which is the essence of Tai Chi, the essence of yoga, the essence of Qigong, makes no difference which of those you're doing, you'll be empowered by learning the principles and understanding how we're channeling the Earth's energy up through our bodies and how to move functionally, whether you're playing baseball or doing Qigong. The same thing with our thoughts. Our thoughts are speaking to us. If we are anxious, then we find out for ourselves what, by literally welcoming the anxiety just like we would welcome the hangover, and saying, tell me what you're anxious about here, honey. That knowledge is there. We know that. That's available to us. And it's this approach that honors the wisdom and the intelligence in everything that happens that then allows us to see how we're being spoken to and how to allow everything that happens to be a means for our healing or for our benefit.
So it seems like there's a lot to all folks really benefit by a couple of days with this approach and these ideas to often to go forward. Is there anything you'd like to say about the workshop reading at Small Business Center in particular? What folks may
the workshop will be the workshop essentially is laying out this approach and way of living, but then very experientially doing it in the ways that we're eating, learning to make choices at meals that bring up our hunger, for example, and being able to be in the presence of that and experience that. We'll have movement that we'll be doing regularly. There will be learning how to listen to our own minds and how to be self-reflective in addition to meditation taking place, and the same thing with relationship skills. And then we practice these throughout the 2.5 days. That's what it's about. It's about the art of living, and we get to live together real deliberately for 2.5 days. That's what it is.
The art of living sounds important to me. So, I'd like to welcome everyone who's watching. Check out our website for more information on our journey.org. You can also check out charleycropley.com for more info on him. And lots of workshop with really powerful. And hosting you once again, Charley. Thanks so much for taking the time today.
My joy. Thank you too. Bye-bye.
Good. And we encourage you all to go to our website and tune into future interviews such like this. And we hope that you all are very well and become maybe more well for this help. Bye-bye.